Yeah.
Final word.
We got the live.
House.
Oh, we lit.
Live. We live.
We lit
and
it.
lit. We live and lit. OC sitting in the house.
Yes, sir.
Big on the way.
The final word.
So let's kick it off with you, Law. What's on your mind, brother?
Oh man, hey, we won 10 games. And I know this loss is a loss this past game, but it's necessary because now we know what we need to correct, man. Going into the playoffs, got to correct this run defense.
Yeah,
I'm optimistic, Law. So, the final word.
I think you're spot on that. What's on your mind, OC?
You know, this game is one game, and I don't want to overreact. I just want to learn from it, and I got some ideas on what we can do to learn from it. So, you know, the tell of the tape will happen in the next couple of weeks with the Dallas Cowboys, with these Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. So, we'll got to take it from there, man.
Yeah, because we definitely go talk about Miami, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to talk about Buffalo. So we go obviously spend some time on that.
Yeah. The final word.
I do expect this to be mostly a freestyle. So I can't wait to kind of hear, you know, everybody's spontaneous thoughts.
The final word.
The final word.
The final.
Yeah, man. But I ain't panicking at all. I felt like we matched. I think it was kind of a style game. I think we ran up on the wrong style. You know, just keeping it real. I was saying this yesterday when I did the show with Jay Tuck. You know, Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali was a great fight.
Right.
But George Foreman beat the snot out of Joe. So when that happened, most people said, you know what? That means George Foreman getting ready to beat the snot out of Ali. It wasn't the case. It was the styles. That's all it was. You know? And the styles that we ran up on was the wrong style for them itty bitty linebackers.
The final word. No doubt. I love that analogy.
That's what it was. So I ain't panicked. You know what I mean? How many teams built like Buffalo? But we go see it again. We not stupid either. We go see it again. We go talk about all of that. So
hey, a desperate fighter is a whole lot different too. They fighting for their life. They trying to get in where we at. We already in.
Yeah. Very measured. And I don't think a lot of us measured it that way. I saw them the same way.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
It's something,
Go ahead.
and it's something that we hadn't mentioned yet. I'll wait about another 30 seconds to tell you.
Oh, you gonna wait?
The final word.
I'm gonna wait 30 seconds to tell you. It's something that I haven't heard many of us consider as it relates to this game. Talk about it in a second.
And we got Big in the house. He done walked in the back door.
Yeah.
Big!
Yo.
The house is full. Y'all in trouble.
What do you want from me?
Y'all in
Come
trouble.
on.
The house is full. It is over. We finna hear from Big too.
Oh, Kool-Aid Big, man. Did he throw the Kool-Aid away?
Oh, wait. Kool-Aid
Here
takes
we
the
go.
basket this Sunday. Here we go.
Man, let's get it.
No sugar in this Kool-Aid. Ooh, no sugar in this Kool-Aid.
Y'all really know. Run it up.
Lately I just wanna run it up.
I do.
Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
I make the deal.
To a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Yeah.
Hey, boss, play that song one time for me,
Lately
man.
I just wanna run it up.
Let's go.
Count that too, count it. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the
hit the
same.
five,
I'm
let's
still
go.
saying roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T-Black, I'm with Rabbit now. hustle for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Man, that never get old, bro.
Never.
Never.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
We usually kick it off with Big, but you said you had something in 30 seconds.
Oh, say.
Yeah, man. What's up, baby? Listen, man. Here's the thing about this Bills loss that a lot of people haven't considered. The possibility and the likelihood that the Dallas Cowboys were a little bit of a tired team. They had a tougher game than expected with the Seattle Seahawks. They put every ounce of energy and focus into the week versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Then they have a cross-country game versus the Bills. I'm not making excuses for the goose egg we laid offensively and defensively, but I am saying it is a lull and it's a very, very long season, and it's very hard to keep extreme high energy in every single game, every single week. The likelihood is this. Yes, we've had some injuries, but the Dallas Cowboys played like a tired team.
Had to, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, they look tired.
No.
Say whatever you say, what you will.
It's good logic, bro.
Say what
it's
you
good
will.
logic. You know, I just don't want to hear that. It's good logic, though. You know what I'm saying?
Say what you will.
You didn't get him with the weevil.
Oh, I gotta hit him with the wee-woo, dog.
Oh, you see this guy?
You gonna make it worse. Rub it in.
Number one
You gonna
bullshit
make it
guy.
worse.
He do the wee woo.
I ain't hearing it, OC. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit him with it
man.
one more time.
It's all fake news.
Yeah.
It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Okay, fake news. Hey, I'm giving you. Hey, I don't have excuses.
Hey,
I don't. Oh, there he is. He went through the lethal weapon button.
Yeah. Riggs!
hey, you could at least said, man, they had the stomach bugs, man.
Or something, bro. God,
Guts,
dog.
man. The dog diarrhea. Leak
dog.
boys, you know. But, man, I'm waiting for oh my God.
You should have said it, Law. You should have said it.
Oh, I know you ain't listening.
Law, you should have said it. You already knew.
You know Law don't like that one.
All right.
Hey, Big Gang, go ahead. Take
Yeah,
over.
start it off,
I'm
Big.
ready to hear you, dog.
Jesus.
I'm ready to hear you, big dog.
Well, I'm gonna just start it off like this. I heard what OC said. I ain't hating OC, but I felt like this was gonna happen anyway. I did call this game. I said this was gonna be a wonky, weird game. I said that this. I felt like they were pumping this team up too much. Five game win streak, blowing everybody out, beat the Eagles, MVP, this and that. I just felt like the fall was bound to happen. And I said you ran into a Buffalo team that they only giving up 14 points at home for the defense. They play really, really good at home, and Buffalo and their team and their fans get way up to play Dallas at Buffalo, way up. So I just felt like this was going to be one of those type of games, dog. This was going to be one of those type of games that if they jumped on us early, it was going to be that game. And I don't want to hear the sickness. Everybody gets sick. That ain't why we lost that game. We ran into a buzzsaw. They was ready for us, and we ran into a buzzsaw, plain and simple. But I just want to say this thing right here, though. And I made this point. This is the problem that needs to be addressed. Going back to these penalties, I made a tweet about it. Dallas leads the league currently with penalties with 102 for 872 yards. They're tied with first with 19 offensive holding penalties. First on with 15 defensive offsides. First with 14 defensive holds, and you got Tyler Smith who's leading the team with 9 penalties. Terrence Steele was 6. Sam Williams was 7. 5 of them are personal foul type, and Jaron Kearse was 6. Since McCarthy has been the coach there, they led the league in penalties in 2021, and they've been pretty much top 10 since Mike McCarthy has been there. Now, this is an issue that, I understand that people say, oh, it's against Dallas, but when I went back and further and I looked at Garrett from 2013 to 2019, they weren't in the top 10. They were not in the top 10 of penalties.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Measure.
So it's not a situation
He done compared.
that that this is everybody else, because then I went over to when they had Wade Phillips and they were in the top 10. They led the league. They led the league one year with Wade Phillips as the coach in penalties, and people used to say they were undisciplined under Wade Phillips, and he was kind of loose with them, and they had a lot of undisciplined penalties. We're seeing that with Dallas, especially when I see it on defense. As I told Boss, me and him said, I made a tweet that when Dallas starts getting behind, they start doing the hero ball, they start getting antsy, and that's when you start seeing the offsides. That's when you start seeing personal fouls. I'm just saying that this, to me, is something that's got to be addressed. They got to figure this out before these playoffs, because those kind of penalties, as we saw in that Buffalo game, a few penalties here and there can really just knock you all out of whack. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but they got to figure that out, in my opinion.
Ooh-wee.
And wait a second. I'm just to double
ahead.
down real quick on what I said. 1 second here. 1 second while you're hitting farting and all that stuff. Man, listen. Here's the deal.
See?
If you got 10, 12 players sick, right? Sick, based upon reports, couldn't it affect their play if they're tired? Because they were sick? They're not at optimal health? Isn't that a plausible argument for some of what we saw? Not all. And I'm not making an excuse. I'm saying not an excuse, but reason. Couldn't it be plausible that the sickness and illness affected the energy level and the play of the team?
Yes.
Am I going crazy?
No. I mean, I hit that button because I didn't want to hear it. You right. It's a human factor to this, right? And and I've been under the weather and had to play. All of us have, or had to work. We weren't ourselves. I just didn't want to hear it, man.
Yeah. Sea moss, man. Y'all make sure y'all get the elderberries and stuff like that. Yeah. But before I get going with Cowboys content, let's put because I know this is what they want.
Right. I want my flowers while I'm living.
But I want to be able to give a round of applause to my big brother, Big Game James. Look, man, he got his credentials for the Senior Bowl, and I think as well last year you had it for the Combine, right? So I want to say, man, this guy got the ability now to respond to players and speak with players and do interviews with players. That's a big movement. That's a big moment. So put your hands together for my dog, Big Game James.
Yes, indeed, bro.
Appreciate you.
That boy good.
And being big, I would also say give us some credentials as well, man.
Yeah. Hook us up.
Hey. Come on out there.
We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna definitely make sure I'm gonna get it right for y'all for sure.
I already know.
Yeah, I can be an intern,
Say I can be the cameraman.
Cameraman too, man.
Shit, I'm his cameraman.
We going hard. Hey, we going hard on them interviews for sure.
Oh, I know you are.
The stat crew guy and the camera guy. But what I'm going to say here is that the Dallas Cowboys, we won, like you said, 5 games in a row. And I like it better anyway when people are not liking us, because I think we play with that extra chip on the shoulder. So
if you only knew the power of the dark side.
Right.
All of the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder networks, they would start praising us too much, and then they would start talking too glowingly of us. So let us sneak back into this doggone playoff. We already clinched, by the way, so it's really nothing that we can do to advance ourselves outside of being the number 1 seed, but that's over with and done with. So right now, man, I like for us to go into the playoff humbled, right? And letting everybody think that we're going to be one and done and hit them with the element of surprise. Now, granted, the Bills were more hungrier than us, right? They had something to lose, and we had nothing to gain, basically. But instead of staying in front of the Eagles, and the Eagles just did us a favor just the other night. We're going to talk about that a little later on down the line.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So
what I'm going to say is Cowboys, let's lock in, let's stay focused, let's stay rooted, and let's get this thing going before we get this last 3 games out the way. Let's get it.
All right, I want to go get right to the nitty-gritty now, because everybody talking about and everybody want to know, how do we stop the run? Now, first thing I want to show is that this is already clear to see, okay? This happened on April 14th All right. From 105.3 The Fan, Mike Marx. I want y'all to listen to this, okay? We got the full link in the description. Listen.
Coach, how would you approach the running game in today's NFL?
Well, I think they've done a really good job of spreading things out. The one thing that I do know is I watch the draft and everything over the last 10 years. Those linebackers have gotten smaller, looking at more athletic guys. We used to put a big 280, 290-pound tight end back there at fullback and do some lead stuff, and I promise you I would do that. I'd just go and splatter those guys and, come downhill as much as you can with it because they're just not prepared for it. Guys, the defenses, there's too many system-type things and not enough details. I would really play smash mouth downhill with big guys and make them play it.
Do you love it?
That was April 14th. Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator.
Wow.
Said when I look at it, so this is why I want to say this is not just a Dallas thing. This is a league thing. This is where defenses have adjusted, in my opinion, to the tight ends that used to be mismatches. Witten used to get off a lot, right? A whole lot of tight ends was getting off. So what did defenses begin to do? The same thing our opponents did when we was running everybody with the number one offensive line. They start getting Allen. They start getting Payne, right? They started to get, right? And all these teams begin to build for that. So now we're in a system to where we have a lot of little linebackers. So he's saying as a counter and a good offensive coordinator would already adjust and start splattering these guys. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, man, it's yin and yang. And so when you have a smaller guy in the package, what happens is that you wear him down over the context of time with physical play because he's built for speed. And so what you have in the NFL today is a bunch of dudes playing linebackers that were not good enough with their hands and route running to play wide receiver, but they're just as fast. So they're wide receiver bodies almost with a little bit more thickness, but they're just good tacklers. They're 215 now, even with Bell in the box. He's doing a great job. No hate on him. Love the way he plays up to around 230. And they run 4.5s and they run 4.4s and some of them run 4.3s. But there's a thing called physics. And look, force and inertia, it doesn't lie.
Right.
And so over time, if a big man is hitting a small man repeatedly, it doesn't matter about your heart. It doesn't matter about how fast you are if we're running straight at you. And you're going to have to physically beat him for 80 plays, 50 plays, 60 plays, and it's not going to happen. So Mike Marson is brilliant. He's spot on. But what happens in the NFL today is that you have more spread concepts than you have power run concepts. And that's why the teams that are really good at lining up with two tights, overload, and just have a physical command, they're able to run the ball effectively offensively and be very, very hard to stop. AKA the San Francisco 49ers, in spots earlier, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Lions, who we got coming up, and then also the Miami Dolphins, who we have coming up. So those teams that are able to effectively power run the football give most teams trouble because you don't have balance in package. You got fast guys, but you have no 250-pound dudes that run downhill and knock people's heads off.
That's right. So I'm finna play this by Tuck, and I want to hear from Big and Law on this. All right. This is something that he was right. Buffalo was coming into that game. Listen to Tuck on this.
We got stalled out, and they said, you know what? Let's test this run defense. Let's see if it's really what it shows on paper. And we went out there extremely light, and they went out there, and I broke down the numbers on Twitter, right? The Buffalo Bills, check me out, y'all.
Listen.
They run 12 personnel 20% of the time throughout the season. Guess how many times they ran two tight ends yesterday? 32%.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And then they run 21 personnel 5% of the time this season. They increased that to 16. So something that they saw was like, let's go power. Now, some of that could have been the weather, but I'm thinking some of that may have been the film as well. Like, okay, they come out there with all these safeties, right? Playing these light defenses. Let's see what happens if you really line up man on man, big on big, and run the ball down their throat. And that's what we saw all day yesterday. And there's a play that really set the tone, and they got that 12.
I mean, Tuck's not wrong. This is nothing new in my opinion. I mean, teams have been doing this. I can go back to the Broncos game in 2021 when they basically said, we're going to run it down your throat. And they had two running backs. They had the Javonte Williams or something like that. He ran for like 130 or something like that. They ran all over us, and they played smash mouth football. And if you look at it, even when we had Ron Marinelli as our defensive coordinator, he used to teach those guys to rush upfield. Remember, it was always rush upfield. They were always trying to get to the quarterback. And then you kept on seeing gaps open, and then you start seeing running backs being able to exploit us, or you being able to get us because we were always going upfield. But if you look at all those teams, even when you had Ron Marinelli, they averaged only 88 yards against our defense rushing. In 2016, it was under 100 yards. That was because we were getting ahead of teams. If you look at those last few games that we've been playing, what have we been doing? We've been getting ahead of teams, right? We've been getting a 10-point or maybe a 14-point lead. When you do that, that causes the offense to get out of its game plan, and they can't run the ball, so they could tend to throw the ball more. That's usually what happens, that teams won't stay against the run, because sometimes, even when you look at San Francisco and Philadelphia when we played them, those are heavy run teams. But they also got a couple quarterbacks that they like to try to throw the ball. They feel like, oh, we can throw the ball on them, so let's throw the ball. Instead of being hard-headed and still continue to run the ball, because Philly abandoned that run pretty quick, and Jalen Hurts was getting out on us with the run, but they started trying to throw the ball, and that fell into our hands, not theirs. So when teams have decided to always stay against the run with Dallas, they've had success. Look at our teams that we have played against in the years. When they've been hard-headed, 30 rushes, 40 rushes in the game, we have been getting gashed. That's nothing new.
No doubt. So when you start talking about gashing, right? And I know my guy, the OC, can contest to this, right? What type of vehicle you in, the OC?
A truck.
What type is it? Is it a small truck, big truck? What kind is it?
No, it's a big truck, man. It's a crew cab, man. It's a black
crew
truck.
Cab. Okay, so for example, he's comfortable riding in that particular truck. And when you are a team that's comfortable with what your design is, that's what you do. And the Cowboys, for example, on their defense, we are not the F-150. We are not the big Hummer. We are a finesse type of team that got to play with the league. Now, we do have parts if we need to be physical with it, but at the time, the way that Dan Quinn constructed the team, this is a team that's more like a car. And if you guys been in cars before and flew around and got into an SUV, it's hard for you to move back from the SUV to the car, because now you're sitting there saying, man, I love to drive high. I love to be the king of my road. I love to drive comfortable. And the Cowboys right now, they are comfortable with the vehicle that they are in, and they decided that this is a pass-happy league, and what we're going to do is be the number one team in pass defense. There's not a team that is going to play like we can play on a consistent basis if teams drop back to throw the ball, because that's what Parson is built for. That is what my guys are built for as far as Marquise Bell. He could go hook the sideline because he's only 205, 215 on a good day. And on top of that, the way our guys rally chase, Deron Bland, Gilly on the outside, that's why we can do turnovers and takeaways. But when teams decide to say, okay, now we're going to match your physicality, and we're going to run at you and take the will away from you, these guys ain't about their life, because you're talking about physicality. Hey, physics is what the OC just said earlier. So I'm going to say this one little point before we rock up out of here with this topic. The Dallas Cowboys, by them making it this way, the offense is, quote unquote, the defense for the defense. This offense must score. This offense must take the lead. So for me hearing from the reports saying that they deferred and they gave the ball to the Bills, it literally gave them life, because if the Cowboys were to pretty much go down there and score a tub or even kick a field goal, I guarantee you Josh Allen would have been saying, I got to throw more than 15 passes.
And see, check this out. I think if we listen to Mike Marx from April 14th talk about what he would do at these small linebackers, not even including just Dallas, what he would do, and we saw it work, I think we should listen to Mike Marx on the Dallas Cowboys on what just happened.
A team that can rush the football well, that's how Arizona beat them. Arizona's not a good team. Arizona beats them because they were patient and they ran the ball right down their throat, and there was nothing they could do about it. And when that happens to a team in the NFL, that's going to happen to you every week until you can line up and prove that you can stop the run.
Let's stop right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, in football, there's a thing that you can't get away from: physicality. Like, it doesn't matter how much rules change. It doesn't matter. It's won on the defensive and offensive line. And the reality of this is, and I hate to say it, but the Bills' offensive line, they dominated us. They dominated the front seven of the Dallas Cowboys. And they dominated us for a variety of reasons. Because, number one, we could not keep gap integrity. In other words, our defensive tackles are getting pushed out of the gaps. B, our linebackers are not big enough, and they're not reading fast enough to anticipate and shoot gaps before offensive linemen can double team and get off on them. Now we're not physical in the secondary, coming downhill making tackles in that cool weather game and it starts to rain and all that type of stuff. And just the last and most important point, outside of however anybody was feeling, they just played with more heart than the Dallas Cowboys. They played with more will. They played with more want to. And it was evident on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive side of the ball. And, if you look at the losses of the Dallas Cowboys, and Mike Marx, once again, he's right. You look at San Francisco, they ran the ball down our throat. You look at the Eagles, they ran the ball very effectively versus the Cowboys. You look at Arizona, same concept. You look at the Bills, guys having career games versus you, rushing for almost 200 yards, So at the end of the day, man, this is a will thing, this is a strategy thing, and this is a personnel thing, which we go get to here in a little bit. But the reality of it is that you're in this situation, and I'll stop it here and let you guys jump in, because we kind of messed up. We messed up on a few things, guys. See, we re-signed LVE. No offense to LVE, but he was not the answer. We didn't get a big linebacker when we had a chance to get a linebacker. We messed up. We let go of Ridgeway. We let go of Quentin Bohanna when he was starting to mature.
Harper.
So we made some mistakes internally that we let go of Cox. So we had talent in the building. We had the opportunity to get certain players, and so we made certain mistakes that's making this an issue, and it's really gonna be hard for Dan Quinn. So don't be, and I looked at the game. Don't be so mad at Dan Quinn, because Dan Quinn tried to slant the defense. He tried to stunt. He tried different stuff. It didn't work. It just didn't work. So that's my thoughts, guys.
And then I want somebody to talk about what he specifically said. He said they gonna keep doing it every week until we show we can stop it.
Well, I mean, my thing is this, Deone Clark, I said this week that Deone Clark, I've been on Deone Clark because I said, and I'm not comparing him to Jalen Smith, but I am saying that, remember when Jalen Smith was here, he would get a lot of tackles, but they were never impactful tackles. So every time I watch Deone Clark, he's athletic as all out, and he gets tackles. Sometimes he gets high volume tackles. He's almost at 100 tackles. I said he'd be a 100 tackle guy, but are his tackles impactful? Is he getting behind a line of scrimmage? Is he blowing up plays? He does get exposed in coverage here and there. He's not been a power we consider linebacker. That was what you say when we talked about Devin Harper. He was the more guy that was the physical guy that comes downhill. He was the more thicker guy that would be able to stuff the run, and you let him go. I don't understand that. And then now you got Rashaan Evans. I don't know if you're really playing him a lot. And then I don't know. I understand the 6 safeties, but to OC's point, and I was frustrated too. I didn't want them to cut Bohanna because I felt you were going to need that other one tech. It wasn't because you were putting too much putting too much trust in Mozzie, in my opinion.
Yes.
You put too much trust in that Mozzie pick, and you already had Hankins. Well, injuries happen, and that's why I didn't want to get rid of Bohanna, because if somebody went down, you can slide a Bohanna in, and just like OC was saying, Bohanna was starting to come into his own.
Yep.
He played well this preseason. He played well. So they were talking about letting him go, I was frustrated with that because we needed him still on the roster. I still think you need at least 3 big boys on the roster as far as one Tex if you're going to run that type of defense, because you got to be able to rotate those guys out. And as I said before, they put too much trust in a Mozzie pick and thought he was going to come in and do that, and he's not doing what they thought. And Dallas is paying for it now because Marquise Bell, we love him, but he's 205 pounds. He's a safety playing linebacker. He's not a linebacker playing safety. And like they said, they're going to keep on exposing it. And J-Ron Curse, those guys, they're late to the ball. They're not making plays. Guys are getting their hands on them. They're not getting off these blocks. I mean, that's effort too, y'all.
Yeah,
investing.
Yeah, man.
Investing
And I want to say one quick thing, Law, before you go, not to cut you off, just super quick.
No, you good.
You know another guy that we had that we cut, boss, and we should have never cut this guy. There's a particular linebacker out of Oklahoma State.
Oh, yeah, Clark.
Why?
Oh, you talking about
Harper?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, 4-4 guy.
There we go.
Yeah.
4-4.
Why did we cut? Why did we Harper when he was so fast, running downhill, shooting gaps? He was making tackles in the backfield.
Yeah.
He was physical. He was fast. I mean, he's what you wanted. Why did we cut him? So again, this is sometimes you're hurt by your own decisions, and I think this is one of those situations. I'm sorry, Law. Go ahead.
No. You're right on the money, because I was going to talk about who they kept instead, right? So during that time, we kept Tristan Hill and we kept Navell Gallimore, both of those guys. And now, of course, Tristan Hill went to another team and we still got Gallimore. You could have easily kept John Ridgway, and you could have easily kept developing him and as well as Big Bo. And I think that those guys would have gave you a little bit more upside. And look, Devin Harper, 4'4" guy, 235 or 234 basically, and he is a production guy. He's a special teams guy. He's you can call it a kamikaze guy who's willing to come down and field. And now what we got is Deone Clark, who I look at him more of a will linebacker playing Mike. And I'm looking at Marquise Bell more of a safety who's playing linebacker. So we got a lot of little issues here. Now, this all could be fixed in-house, by the way, because we got a lot of edge rushers. We drafted Sam Williams, by the way, in the second round, and I hate to see him with such limited snaps. And when you do that and you have somebody pressing, and when they get out there on the field, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing they're going to do is try to make plays. They may be over aggressive. They may hit you after the whistle. They may grab at your face because they are trying to let their name be known. But if they were automatically already in the system, then they wouldn't have to do that. You got my guy Fowler who's only in rotation. So when he get hot, he got to hit the bench. But all you got to do, and granted, let me say this once again, we all love Micah Parsons. We don't like him. We love Micah Parsons. But Micah Parsons on that edge is taking away quality reps from other guys who is better than him. And if they won't say it out there on the DallasCowboys.com on stopping the run.
Oh,
right.
Whoa.
On stopping the run. But Parsons is he's a better guy. He's a better guy on edge rush and creating sacks and these sorts of things. And I want somebody to contextualize how many sacks do Parsons really have off of the edge opposed to him lining up and shooting through A gap or B gap or twisting. So that's a whole nother conversation. This could all be changed and switched. Put Rashawn Evans at Mike, and then you slide Micah Parsons in at linebacker, and you will have Sam Williams, and you will have Fowler out there, and you will rotate Dorrance Armstrong out there. You got edge guys.
We gonna come back to that.
Can I jump in on this right quick? Oh no, girl, let's go. You got it, boss.
Trust me, we gonna come back to that because I know where you're going. On Micah Parsons setting the edge.
Yep.
We got something on
You
that.
already know where I'm going.
Yeah, I got you. I want to finish this Mike Marx. Then we go get into that.
They didn't play 5 down. They didn't make any adjustment. They just stayed in the same defense because that's what those guys know. You can't get in a 5 down because those linebackers are really kind of DBs.
Hold on, I got to rewind
being a
that.
5 down, you got fit.
I got to rewind that. He said a lot. Listen.
That you can stop the run. They didn't play 5 down. They didn't make any adjustment. They just stayed in the same defense because that's what those guys know. You can't get in a 5 down because those linebackers are really kind of DBs. So being a 5 down, you got to fit different gaps and scrape and do all that stuff, and it's not. They don't know that stuff. They're going to have to make some serious changes up front in how they approach this. They got to stop moving number 11 around because when they do that, people are rushing the football. They ain't going to stop the run.
See, we ain't going to see. I ain't going to just let that go by. He said, "Yeah, number 11 ain't gonna stop the run."
Yeah. That he's a little bit. He's on that. Coach is a little bit uninformed. He did make some adjustments in the game. All right. Yeah. So I saw where Dan Quinn did try a few different things. So I don't agree there. And
his knee got hurt. His knee got hurt. To be fair, his knee got hurt in that game too.
Go ahead. Micah.
Yeah.
Micah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also on top of that, listen, you got to understand, Micah Parsons has always been a premium, generational talent, defensive, rusher, right, edge rusher. However, this season, and I pointed this out via tape earlier, Micah Parsons has got way better defending the run. Micah Parsons is good enough to defend the run. I don't think that's the issue here. I think it's the complete body of work of the defense. Gap integrity, line getting pushed interior, right? Double teams on the outside, and then the linebackers not being effective at making plays and being late and missing tackles in the open field with all those safeties that you are playing, right? It was a total team defeat. Right? It wasn't about Micah Parsons not being able to stop the run. That's a bunch of, as Law would say, bullshitter. Because Micah Parsons has been pretty effective.
I got a rebuttal.
I think Micah Parsons.
I got a rebuttal though. I got a rebuttal.
I'm ready.
Let Big Game James get in first. I got down.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We saw it in 2021 when he played a lot of linebacker, right? And you said he was rushing the A and B gas, but Boss said something when he had that tape with Jay Tuck, and I said it too in a tweet. Nobody is doubting that he can't stop the run. Nobody ain't doubting he can't do it. We seen him, but does he want to do it all the time?
Does he want to do it?
Does he want to do it? Because I remember when we played the Giants, and he had no tackles. No hits to the quarterback, no pressures, and he was pissed off. And it wasn't just that he was pissed off. He was playing a lot of linebacker that game, okay? And he wasn't able to get to the quarterback. And I'm not challenging his effort or anything like that. But what I am saying is when you rushing that passer, that's the gold mine right there.
That's the
where
money.
you're getting your money. That's
where you get the awards.
You don't get your money at linebacker, okay? You don't get your money there at linebacker. You get your money as the edge. When Michael came out of high school, he was a DN. They converted him to linebacker at Penn State. Okay, right. So he was a natural edge even in high school. But as I said before, no. Here's the thing, though. I need to know, like I heard Boss, that's what I want to know amongst y'all. Does he have the want to? Because if they move him at linebacker and they put Sam Williams and they put Dante Fowler and they're just rushing the quarterback and he's not doing that all the time, is he going to get frustrated that he's not getting them opportunities now to rush the quarterback? Is he going to get frustrated? Is he going to give the effort?
Start pouting.
I don't know. I don't know because I've seen pouting when he is not getting after that quarterback all the time and he has to guard the run and he has to play the run. I be seeing him slowing up on some plays or the effort may not be as great going after the running back as it is the quarterback. And that's the question to me out of this whole thing.
And I agree with you real quick.
I'm gonna tell you this. I love Micah Parsons.
one of my favorite players. I love him as a dude. Somebody got to coach him how to defend the run when he's on the edge. And I know nobody want to say it because we talk about how great he rushes the pass. Nobody can divide it. But if I'm going to talk about other players that have parts of their game where I see as a weakness, if he's going to play the edge in Dallas, he has to learn how to set the edge. He got to learn how to stop putting his shoulders in the offensive lineman and use his hands and be effective in that regard. And when they don't block him, he has to be able to understand how to affect plays in that regard. So a lot of this about Dallas, to your point, RC, is mentality and how we play. The most devastating thing was that for me. Physicality, and more importantly, they didn't even look like they knew how to fit the run. Yep. More than anything.
Man.
So we obviously on different pages on this. That happens. But I'm on the side with Big. I'm on the side like I don't think we getting what we, because I'm just peeping game. I don't think Micah Parsons have embraced linebacker. I'm being all the way on.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I agree with that.
He embraced that edge.
Go ahead, OC.
No, I agree with that. And I mentioned this before that, Mike is a dog, but, this is business and this is the Hollywood of the South. You playing for the Dallas Cowboys. So it's an element of business with this, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that he has the ability, and I understand what Spears is saying. Shout out to him. And look, he's a great commentator, and he has definitely put his shoulder into tackles and not played sound with striking and controlling and shedding blocks and things like that. But on the other side of that, it's been games where I have seen him do that. From the edge position, that is. So I'm saying I know he has the ability to do it. Now, when they put him at linebacker to change of pace, yeah, you guys are correct. I've seen a little bit of pouting with that, but Micah needs to get pumped up, and they need to sit down and explain. When you got a star player like that, you got to communicate well. You got to sit down and negotiate with him to get buy-in. And this is a part of the politics and coaching in the professional football league. You got to say, look, Micah, we need you here. When we put you a linebacker, we're putting you here to keep you fresh. We're putting you here so that you can roam freely and make plays. We're putting you here to give you a break and let some of the other talent we have get on the field, because we got to make everybody strong. And Lions got to roam. You gotta hype him up. You gotta talk to him like that so that you can get the most out of him. But if you just say, we mix it up, put your linebacker, then he don't get it. He don't understand the whole concept, the whole vision. Then yeah, you're right. You're right, guys. You're not gonna get his best at linebackers unless they have clear communication with Micah and they get him to buy in.
Yeah, and I think they've been trying.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot of. Man. It is.
You feel me, boss?
Yeah.
You feel me, boss? Like, I feel like when he has to play linebacker, OC and long, boss, that's a lot of responsibility to play linebacker, okay?
Big,
especially if you're playing a Mike, a lot of responsibility. And I wonder if they took that away from him, because he might try to think too damn much and it'll take away his ability, and he might, you feel what I'm saying? Maybe then that's
Big,
probably
I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I don't think he want to do it. And
he don't. I don't feel it either. That's why I'm trying to not come out and just say it. I said it on Twitter.
Let's just say it.
But yeah, let's just say it, because we ain't trying to bash you, Micah, but that's what we saying. We don't think you want to play linebacker because you're gonna have to chase running backs, and you can't chase quarterbacks. And when you chase the running backs all day, that ain't the glorious thing. Everybody ain't talking about you all day. That's not the glorious spot. You want to rush that quarterback, and let's just keep it real, dog. He want them quarterback sacks.
That's what he want. And see, the clear to me is clear when you remember the offseason. Do y'all remember this? Cowboys DC Dan Quinn says Micah Parsons is not making a full-time move to defensive end. Because remember, he was saying he was putting on 5 pounds to get ready for those 300-pound tackles. See, OC, I played Division I, you played Division I. Did we ever go into the offseason with our coaches telling us the plan for next season and how we supposed to take care of our bodies?
Never.
So
you always get exit. Never.
Yeah. So you get the exit interview and they'll say, Marcus, you playing at 180? We need you at 175. We gonna try to get you faster, right? Or we getting ready to go into a spread. We need you to lose weight. OC, didn't that happen to you?
Yep.
Right. So
yes, it did.
So you
Yes,
mean
it
to tell me that's why Dan Quinn came out the way he did. And let me give y'all the ultimate evidence that he don't see himself at all as a linebacker. This happened after the San Francisco game. All you got to do is listen to Micah describe himself compared to the other guys. Listen. Listen.
Micah, the run defense has kind of been a question throughout the years. Just, do you feel like it's still an issue that needs to be addressed even tighter?
I don't know. That's something that it's just only so much I can do from where I'm sitting at. Like, I don't know what's going on inside. I just set the edge, bro. Like, I don't know things that the interior or whatever needs to get addressed. It's just something the coaches got to look at.
Can you pull up his stats in that game?
That was the San Francisco game.
Right. Can you pull up his stats if you can? I hate to throw that at you because that was absolutely my point that I was leading into. Is the opposing teams, they don't give a damn about Micah Parsons in that fashion. They want to keep him at 0. They want to keep him at 0 across the board. It's like going into a game, and if I can isolate Michael Jordan and keep him below the numbers and let other people beat us, we won. If I can make other people beat us outside of Michael Jordan, then we won. And that's what the Bills did. And that's what the 49ers did. And that is what the other teams did when we absolutely lost. So when we start to think of those type of things, it's all about isolating Micah Parsons. Let him run free. Let him not be the impact. Let him not be the force multiplier. But when you are able to be a Mike linebacker, it's damn near impossible to do that. Think of it. Fred Warner is a guy that go hook the flat. Is a guy that going to make the necessary reads, going to make the necessary checks. You can't isolate him. Yeah, you can probably put a faster opposition on him, but it's going to compromise something else. So when we look at this pass game on Deone Clark, he may have had 11 tackles, right? Put Parsons there. That would have been 15 to maybe 20. He probably would have broke the record, but he's on the edge. He wasn't a major factor in this game. And granted, I get it, we lost, but he only had 2 tackles and they were assisted. So when we go into this next game, if we continue to put him on the edge and he's not a main factor, if the teams decide to run, then that's on us right there, fam. That's on us because we're not utilizing him to his best of capabilities. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to say this loud. I don't want him at linebacker.
I want him everywhere.
And I'm going to tell you why. I don't want anybody where they don't want to be.
Okay, break it down.
I'm going to tell you why I say that.
Because so the prison running the asylum.
Yeah.
So you got kids. So if your kid want to eat ice cream before they go to bed, you say, okay, you gonna give it to them, or
no,
you running the
house.
house.
You're saying. I know what you're saying. Put your nuts down on them. I wish they would, but it don't look like they doing that. I'm being all the way honest. They not. They look like they kind of catering to him. He gained 5 pounds, even though Dan Quinn, he called himself an edge rusher. And then Dan Quinn, no, he's not. He's an off-ball linebacker that can rush. So this is the thing. If you're not committed to middle linebacker, you go play it bad. And I'm going to be honest. He ain't been playing middle linebacker good to me. Yeah. He ain't been playing it good to me because I don't think he wanted. Because to me, when you're trying to be the middle linebacker, you are the quarterback of the defense. You got to be committed to knowing everything about that offense. You got to look at the tendencies of that quarterback. You got to look at the tendencies of the running game. You got to know what kind of motions go happen. And you got to adjust everybody as motions are happening. You the ones that's lining everybody up as the middle linebacker. If you're not committed to it, I don't want you there. I want a guy that's committed to it. I want a guy that's like, I want to be there. I don't want a guy playing my linebacker where he that's them. I set the edge. I want a guy
I see where you're coming from boss. Now. I see that coming from.
Listen, boss, I disagree.
Hear me out.
Because this is when we need a Jimmy Johnson mentality here.
Yeah.
Micah, I know you talented. But for you to be great you got to be a football player, not just an edge rusher. We drafted you on this team because we believe that you could do multiple things well. I don't care about your stats and you getting 25 pass rushes a game. You're going to be a Pro Bowler. We're going to take care of you. You're going to get a $100+ million contract from this organization in short order. I need you to lead this defense. I need you to play where we need you to play to be successful. LVE is not here. We cut these other guys. We cannot continue, all right, to let Maurice Bell get beat up on and pancaked and double teamed by 330-pound guards, okay? Deone Clark is not all the way ready. To Law's point, he's a weak side linebacker. That's what he is. He's a true weak side linebacker. He's not
All
a
right.
Mike.
And let me be Micah Parsons, because everything you said is true. Let me be Micah Parsons.
Be Parsons.
But no.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
No.
Micah?
No.
I don't give a crap what you say.
But see,
Micah,
OC,
sit this bitch.
oh,
Micah,
but see,
sit
here's,
this bitch.
but
Then I'm a power play.
OC,
sit this bitch.
But here's but you talking not reality though, OC.
Right.
You not talking reality here. We talking about reality.
I'm
here.
talking
not
winning
hating
football.
I know.
I'm talking about winning football.
No, I'm agreeing. I agree with you. I agree
with you, but
the conversation is not happening what you're saying,
right,
because you just said that,
right, and it needs to.
Weren't right, but the problem is it's not, and it hasn't happened all year. You know why? Because I still see J-Ron Curson, his favorites out there. I still see his favorites out there that we see messing up in games, not getting there what they need to do, missing assignments, and we're saying why he ain't taking them out. Why ain't they doing this? Because we seen it on the offensive side, right? We was complaining about things on the offensive side. We seen changes, but I, in my opinion, still see favorites on the defense. So if I still see favorites from them guys, where in the hell do I actually think that Dan Quinn is going to have that conversation with Micah Parsons and tell him this is what you're going to do? And Micah says, I ain't feeling that. And he's going to say, okay, you're going to sit. That is not real. He is not sitting Micah Parsons. I need to see him do that. If I see him, if that's the reality, then yes, let's be real. But I don't believe that's a real conversation, and I don't believe that's happening. And I feel like Micah can do more than what he wants to do. Yes, he may have to sit out a few plays, but he gets like rushing that damn quarterback, and he don't like tackling ball carriers all game. Watch his body language, OC.
Yep.
Watch his body language during the games when he's not rushing a quarterback. Watch his body language. Watch his head. He does this.
And see, hold on. This is the proof.
Hold on.
This is the proof. This is the proof. I got you next, OC. I promise you.
Ooh,
this is the proof. Dan Quinn tried to have that talk. OC. Micah Parsons came out in the offseason and said he's a full-time edge rusher because he needed 5 more pounds to get ready for full-time edge rushing. Dan Quinn came back and had to clarify. He said he's a pass rushing linebacker. If you ever need position changes, come to me.
Pass rushing linebacker.
Well,
what I think he was probably trying to say is, I'm really emphasizing some pass rush into my offseason. OC, you know they already had that talk with him on what his role was going to be going into the next season. So the exact same talk that you're saying you would have, you could tell that they already had it, and he still don't want to do it. That's my opinion. Everything shows that he don't want to do it. Like everything he's saying, he over here with that's dim. Like, OC, if me and you was in a fight, or you was getting ready to get in a fight, and I'm like, yeah, well, go ahead, OC. Am I with you? No. It's we getting ready to fight, not, oh, that's dim back there. That's, I just set the edge. No, that means you not even at all identifying as a linebacker. I don't think he wants it. And if anybody that don't want it, I don't want you playing the middle linebacker. I want you playing it if you commit it. And if he did commit to it, I think he would be greater than what he already is. Great. Yeah, I think he would be greater than what he, because what he want, and I get it. He want the bag. I get it. You go get the bag if you commit to that linebacker. Anyway. Yeah, you go get it anyway. If you want to be considered the GOAT, you would really be considered the GOAT. You know why he would be considered the GOAT? He would be the first person that's elite at pass rushing and elite at linebacker. He would be the first human being ever.
Right.
But you got to say, I want the challenge. And I don't see him saying he want it. I see him saying, I want to get after the quarterback, and that's what I want to do.
It takes growth. It takes growth to get there, man. Because when we saw MJ It took time. He would sometimes run point. He would sometimes run guard. He would sometimes run small forward.
We ain't got time for that, Law.
Someone else,
We ain't got
when it's time for someone else to take the shot, hey, he would dish it out to BJ. He would dish it out to Kerr. He'll punch Kerr in the chest if he missed. So that type of mindset and mentality is, I'm going to win at all costs.
Yeah.
I'm going to be an impact, a difference maker. And people that's look, I'm gonna tell y'all, and I know Boss Cowboy and the OC, y'all learned this in business school. Hey, getting work done through others is management, but one of the other things that you had to learn is this most important thing through leadership is delegation. Sometimes you got to delegate some stuff. And Parsons, if we want to go from here to here, you're going to have to delegate some responsibilities and say, in this game, this is a run-heavy team, and me, Parsons, I can't leave 0 on the stat sheet because they're going to run the ball. I know for sure I'm the 4-3 guy. Nobody on this team is better than me. Put me in the middle of the field. I'll shut all of that stuff down. I can sniff it out. I can get there, and I can be that impactful guy. Instead of being on the line and getting gobbled up by Deone Dawkins or getting gobbled up when they start to look at him and say, hey, let him run free and not being a factor, sometimes you're going to have to get out of yourself and look within yourself. And people say, I know, write this down, put it in your hearts. It's hard to see the picture when you are in the frame, but in this frame of mind, you got to step outside so you can see yourself win.
Let me give you a perfect example of somebody who put the
Let
team
me say
first.
this real quick, boss. Let me say this, boss, before you go. Look, man, how do you deal with a spoiled child? You take steps in terms of motivation. What would solve this whole thing, and this goes back to the cultural issue and the cultural hole and the problem with the Dallas Cowboys, because you know what? If Dan Quinn said that and he walking around pouting, well, guess what? Mike McCarthy needs to have a conversation with him. Mike and Dan, Micah, you're great. We love you. But Micah, we're going to need you to do this right now to help us. We're going to need you to be like Clay Matthews was in Green Bay, who could go get to, okay, next step. Mr. Jones, come, no, Mr. Jones, come here, Micah. If you want us to pay you this bag, Micah, we're looking at $100 million contract for you, Micah. And we drafted you because we believe in you. Mr. Jones had a conversation with him. Use your powers for good. Micah, right now, I need you to do everything in your power to help this team win, Michael. Michael, we gonna take care of you, Michael. But Michael, take care of us right now and go down there and do your very best to help this defense and be a great player, not just a great edge rusher. Prove you're a great player to get this $100 million plus guarantee that we gonna have to shell out for you soon anyway. See, if you do that and you have the conversations constructively, forcefully, methodically, and in the right way, Micah Parsons is going to stop acting like a spoiled brat. And he going to go out there and get you 12 tackles at linebacker if that's what you need him to do.
I'm going to be honest with you, OC.
Sound good.
It sound good, but because, see, some people get it.
Ooh, good.
Spoiled little children.
What did he say in the offseason? Now,
I'll play anywhere they want me to play.
Just tell me where to go. You see the difference?
They want me to play.
And he prepared for both. Yeah. That's the key. He prepared for both.
Hey, say Tyron Smith. Even say Tyron Smith last year. I mean, I'll be hating on Tyron with that health, but he said, I'll go to right tackle for the team last year. He said, I'll go to right tackle because you remember a guy named Zach Martin. He said, I'm not playing right tackle. I'm staying here at guard. Y'all remember that with Terrence Steele?
Yeah.
Y'all remember that, right?
Because, see, Zach Martin, let's keep it real. Zach Martin is more like Micah Parsons. So, okay, y'all. Oh, y'all want to hear? Oh, okay. See, we done already. Okay, see, let's keep it real. It's some players for the bag or for their career or for what they want in terms of accolades. They like, I ain't playing no tackle, dog. Ain't that what Zach Martin said?
He came out and said, I'm not playing it.
I'm not.
Yeah. So we got to be honest that some of these superstars be like, no.
And then he sat out. And then he sat out right before the season started like, nah, I ain't doing that. Y'all going to pay me.
Y'all pay me. Yeah.
And I think that's what we got in Micah Parsons. I think, and I'm just keeping it real. It's some players. It's some players that's like, hey, bro, just tell me where to go. Like, this is our future left tackle right here. And he said, man, I'll stick with God if this is what's gonna help us win. You know what I mean? And is he doing it? Yes. Yeah. And I'm gonna be all the way honest. See, and this I'm gonna be honest. We love Micah Parsons, but it's too much of this going on. Before we say what we gotta say about Micah, people always say, man, I like Micah Parsons. I think he'll agree. Man, we just say what we gotta say, bro. Right. This is the truth on this thing, bro. Like, you gotta fully embrace this thing, and he not doing it. And let me tell you the ultimate proof. It's the film. The film is the proof. I watch you play that middle linebacker. The times where I saw you really get after it when it was your rookie year. When he played
that Minnesota Viking.
Oh, that
game?
Minnesota game?
Minnesota Viking game when they put him at linebacker because they were talking. He had 11 tackles that game.
Ooh.
First 2 plays out the game, he blew up the plays in the backfield. Sacked Kirk Cousins. He was all over the field, and that's when we moved to off-ball linebacker. He said, "Let me put it," because he took that challenge because they were saying
he took the challenge, right?
Remember they said Dalvin Cook was going to run all over us on that game. They said they were going to run. He took the challenge at linebacker. He said, "I'm going to take the challenge," and we shut down Cooks that game. So it's not like he can't do it.
He can do it. He gotta want to do it.
Has to embrace it.
He got to embrace it.
Imagine having a 4-3 linebacker in the middle of the field, bro.
Man.
You know? And I see my brother, the twin maker, in the building, man. And I know he's a 49er fan, but Fred Warner, like he ain't a 4-3 guy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But Fred Warner, Fred Warner nice. I ain't talking bad about Fred. But if you think about it, shoot. If Parsons would have embraced that role, he probably would have been a better Fred Warner. Not talking about Fred Warner, because every time I mention Fred Warner, twin get in there like, wait a minute.
Listen, man, Micah Parsons is a true freak. And let me tell you, let me give you the clues that he didn't embrace it. Who did he spend the offseason with? Did he spend it with Luke Kuechly? Did he spend it with Sean Lee? Huh? Because if you really trying to be the best middle linebacker, I'm going to see it in your prep work. I'm going to see it in you preparing for the game with who you kicking it with and who you studying with. Because that's the number one sign that you're ready for middle linebacker, not how fast you are. It's about how smart you are and how much time you put in learning that opponent. So if you ain't spent no time with Luke, and you ain't spent no time with Sean Lee, and you ain't spent no time with no guys that's great at studying the game, you ain't put in the time, big dog. And I'm just being all the way honest. That don't mean he can't play it, but I need you to embrace it like you embrace defensive end, where you trying to be the best ever at that position. No, be the best football player on defense we've ever seen.
And let us preface this again. Yeah. We ain't beating up Parsons, y'all, because I know y'all gonna be.
Law gonna say that. Law gotta get it out. Well, we saying it right here. Law ain't saying it.
But let's just keep it real. Did we see him spend some time? Come on now. Who was he spending time with in off season? What was he talking about? What's the name? Law, what did you say? What's the name of his podcast?
Hey, his podcast.
Is it Linebacker?
It ain't the backers. It ain't LBU. Now, when he came to the Cowboys, you're talking about we the new LBU, Linebacker University. Hey, he ditched them.
Listen, man.
He left them cold and dry. It's the edge boys now, boy. But when you think of like edge rushers, though, typically, you know, of course you can talk about the smaller size like Von Miller. Of course you can talk about Smooth over there in LA. The Chargers, what's his name? To my tongue. What's his name? Edge rusher. Outside linebacker. For the Chargers.
Bro.
He came from the Raiders. Bears. Raiders, Bears. Who?
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. Yeah, those guys are smaller in size or what have you. Or you could probably talk about TJ Watt, but typically your edge guy is going to be 260.
Yes,
is a long way from 260 something, you know. Right. So it's gonna take him a minute. And my guy Sam Williams is more closer to that. If Sam Williams get more and more reps, more and more opportunities, he would have been already mature. But he's still undeveloped child out there. Yeah,
but that's the problem, though, Law. You just said it. When we keep on talking about maybe putting Parsons at more linebacker, Sam Williams got to grow up, dog. I just told you he leads the team in defensive penalties. He just had a penalty. He just had a big critical time, man.
Right now, you had right now, big game, James. Big game. Hear me out. You got your life on. You got life support. and you got to have somebody to set the edge, would you rather have Sam Williams or Parson? You on life support. They got to stop and run.
I would want Sam Williams because he's more aggressive.
I want Tank.
You want Tank, but
Well,
all right, let's play this game. Let's play this game. Let's play this game.
I like this game. I like this game.
You got Dorrance, Armstrong. You got Fowler. Who you gonna have? You got you on life support, and you need somebody to set the edge.
This is dirty. This is dirty, Law.
Name me the edge guy. Name me the edge guy on this team.
Dirty.
If you want, I'm gonna go Armstrong over Fowler.
Go. Give me the whole list.
And that ain't me even being confident with that one, because we don't have guys that can set the edge except D-Law. We got finesse guys. Right. Let's keep it real. We got
give me your order. Give me your order. Who gonna set the edge the best?
It would be D-Law. It would be Sam Williams, and then I would go. I'm gonna throw Parsons before Armstrong just because of the physicality, and then I'll go Armstrong, and then I'm gonna put Fowler last.
Damn. Fowler can't set the edge.
My order different.
Right. Go ahead, boss.
My order would be Tank, Fowler. Fowler would be 2 to me. You talking about setting the edge? I'm going Armstrong. Okay. Then I'm going Sam. No, I'm going Micah, then Sam. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you still got Michael over Sam on the setting the edge, you know, on stopping the run.
Yep.
Okay.
Because he's more disciplined.
Because of the discipline.
Because he's more disciplined. Not because of the physical nature, because the physical nature of Sam Williams is there, but he's not disciplined, and he don't play with discipline. Right. And that's the problem. That's the problem right now with our team, is because maybe he's having to put Micah Parsons keep rushing him, because Sam Williams need to grow up, y'all. Sam Williams need to grow up. He's already had incidents the last 2 years. It's the truth. He's already had instances the last couple of years. He leads the team in defensive penalties. He just had a big miscue in that Buffalo game. I know way he jumped in the air, I get it, but aren't they taught to lay straight out so you can come in there and block that? That's what you're taught. And he already had another one earlier this year where he did that on the special teams, and they got the ball back again. So Sam Williams got to grow up, because Sam Williams could probably get more tick, but he's not growing up, and that's why he's not getting that tick, and he's being rotated in and out. Don't you think?
Man, you bring up
I feel like we got a discipline issue, so it's super hard to just vouch for anybody but Tank.
No, boss. Certain people stand out. I'm sorry. Like right now, the decision making and the discipline of Sam Williams is not as bad, but it's close to, in penalties, what we saw with Kelvin Joseph. Like making bonehead mistakes. Like, I understand if you made a bonehead mistake once, but you getting 2 penalties in the same games, and the same kind of penalties in consecutive games, doing the same type of thing on a punt block, that's mental, that's focus, that's discipline. Athletic ability is through the roof, man. You know, dude runs a 4.5, 4.6. Wow. He's probably closer to 270, actually. You know what I mean? Let me pick your brain though, right quick, OC.
Do you give Zach Martin a pass on that roughing of the undisciplined?
Do I give
hit Zach Martin?
Zach Martin?
No, I don't give Zach.
He should have been harder.
I don't get.
He was soft.
Look, I don't give him a pass. Like, Zach Martin is accountable, but we're talking about discipline. And over the years of his career, Zach Martin has been more disciplined and made less errors than the pattern that we're seeing right now with Sam Williams. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that Sam Williams is ultra talented. Yeah, exactly. And Sam Williams is ultra talented, man. He's ultra gifted. He's in a gifted class. You know what I mean? You know, you have regular class, and then you have those pre-IB classes, those gifted and talented classes, like physical athletic ability. Sam Williams is up there in the gifted athletic ability classes, but the mental, the focus, the discipline, that's what he needs to go to next, because he could be a Pro Bowl player. He's that physically gifted. He could be a Pro Bowl player. But man, he has to put it together, and somebody has to encourage him at a higher clip. Hey, man, we need you out here, because really, he's a part of the secret sauce outside of playing Fowler more, which I agree with, boss. By the way, if Sam was playing at the level because of his consistency and you could trust him that he could play at, man, that solves our problem. That balances the field. You can't double team anybody. You can't double team Micah. You can't double team Tank. You can't double team Fowler if he's in. You can't do it because you got a Sam Williams problem. That's the thing.
But hey, boss, boss, didn't we talk about this though at the beginning of the season? I said Sam Williams was the key at the beginning of the year. I said Sam Williams was the key to this defense at the beginning of the year, but that he had to grow up and he had to mature. But guess what? Just like Kelvin Joseph, when he was in college, do y'all know he had red flags? Yes, he did. He had red flags, just like Kelvin Joseph, and red flags are real. And that's the issue. When you see these red flags and it's on the same thing that he has gotten in trouble on and off the field. He had those type of red flags in college. Okay. And so whose fault is it when you get into the pros? So the guys need to take them over the wing because you still speeding. You got two speeding. You feel what I'm saying? Those little things like that. If you're doing that off the field, you don't think you're not going to bring that on the field too?
It that definitely same goes recklessness. On the field. Well,
if you have the recklessness off the field, you're going to have the recklessness on the field. And don't we see that? That is the issue. Sam Williams needs to grow up right now. Because if we had Sam Williams holding down that spot and being mature, just like you said, OC, a lot of these problems will be eliminated, especially in the run game, things of that nature. But he's got to be better. And your coach has to be better in coaching him to do the right things. Because I don't care what anybody says. Y'all remember when Ron Marinelli was here? Do y'all remember all those times people were getting in trouble? It was on the defense. And everybody was like, oh, it's okay. No, it was a problem to me because every time somebody was getting in trouble, it was on the defense and Rob Marinelli was the coach. That's all I'm saying.
I got to jump in on this because, look, Tyrone hit it on the head. I'm going to go ahead and say it, bro. Just like my boy, he said, and he put this in all caps. So I said for y'all, it sounds like Dan Quinn is a problem. See, listen, y'all. What we keep talking about: discipline, offsides, hero ball, right? Hero ball. Now the lead of your defense is not even and openly saying I'm a defensive end when you calling them off. I'm seeing, you know what I'm honestly seeing? It looked like they don't fear Dan Quinn. They might respect him, but they don't fear him.
Is he too buddy-buddy? Is he too buddy-buddy?
Big, I'm just saying it, bro. It's something.
Does it feel like
No, man. I would take Dan Quinn over all of the 13 other years that we had at defensive coordination. So,
but that don't mean he ain't got stuff he got to work on.
I
would take him.
Everybody got one little issue.
Yeah, he got one little issue.
He got one little issue.
But we got to talk about this issue.
I like Dan Quinn.
It's more than that. It's discipline too.
I like Dan Quinn too. But you got 15.
No, man.
Law. Hold up. Law. Hold up. Nobody's saying nobody's hating on Dan Quinn. Nobody's saying get rid of Dan Quinn. But Dan Quinn, just because we love you, you can't be free of being criticized.
Yeah, we got to hold you accountable, dog.
Too. And you got to be held to the fire. You have 15 defensive holding penalties. That leads the league.
Right.
You have 15, you have 15 defensive offsides. 15 defensive offside penalties, that leads the league. 14 defensive holding penalties. 9 defensive pass interferences. That's the majority of the penalties are on the defense.
And you done got everything you want. He got way more talent than Rod Marinelli ever had.
Facts.
You done gave him a fucking one tech. Man,
facts.
Man, Rod never had no one text like he got. And Rod made it work. I ain't hearing nothing about this, man. I ain't got no excuses for you. Now, do I like the fact that you run good schemes? I do like that you adjust. I like that the guys do seem to like you. You seem like you a man of the people. They seem like they rally, but they don't fear you. Right. And I'm being honest, when you having all this undisciplined stuff, they don't fear you, dog. I'm just being honest. I played D. I had D coordinators. It was some I bet not make a mistake. Some. It was some I can make all the mistakes I wanted, and I will still go be their best friend the next day. I'm smelling something in this, man, and it don't smell good. If we still talking about stopping the run, they done gave you Mozzie. They done gave you Hankins. They done gave you Gallimore. They done gave you, man, they done gave you all of this money that Rod has never had. They done gave you all the best pieces of the chicken.
Hey, my guy, he said, my guy over here on the Instagram said, Dan is she. You know how they say, Dan is him? He said, Dan is she. But I will say this, though, man. I don't know, man, because I don't trust that. I trust Dan more than I trust Jerry Jones and John Stephen Jones on finding another defensive coordinator. I just trust Dan Quinn. I just figure we just got
to get rid of him. You got to put your foot down.
Yeah,
you got
put
to stop
your foot
playing
down.
nice with
Micah
everybody.
Parsons out.
You got to stop playing. You got to stop playing nice, and because you know what, Law. You know daggone well when Ron Marinelli was here, even though that stuff was outdated, Rod didn't play with them. When Taco came in, he was calling them Taco Bell. Chiquita Bell. He was on it. He was like, man, that dude. I remember going to the practices. You didn't run. You wasn't playing.
Right. Big, can I ask you a question? I'm serious. Big, would Rod ever allow a team to continually push and we watching?
Wait a minute, dog. Hold on, man.
Let's show the film. No, I'm gonna show the film. I'm gonna just show the film. Talk is cheap. Would Rod allow this?
Oh, he'd be going to hell.
Would he allow all these guys watching? Man, listen, y'all. Y'all already know the answer. We need to be honest about this. We know Rod wouldn't allow this. We know it. Everybody saying, "Calm down, boss."
Man. Hey, man, I'm sitting here like, man.
Let boss do it.
I'm letting y'all go.
We know he wouldn't, bro.
I think Dan Quinn's system will work. I think that we still have issues with the politic game, and that could be from above. And I'm thinking that right now, Curse, he got iron and board hips. He's very stiff. He's tall like an avatar. He ain't really moving around like he was a year before, the year before that. And I also look at this team as far as the personnel aspect.
Look at this.
And shout out to you, Curse, man. I ain't trying to talk.
Look at all these dudes watching.
Look at Curse. He just manhandling Curse. Curse is just like,
look at Lattimore.
Curse Curse gonna get mad. He gonna have me on Twitter.
Curse gonna jump in my inbox, man. But Curse, man, well, I'm just saying, dog.
Yeah, you know they gonna say something on Twitter tomorrow tonight.
I put it like this.
I
put it like this. If we could combine the mentality of Rod with the strategy of Dan Quinn, you would have the super D coordinator. Because it's one thing about Rod, he ran a basic 4-3 bend don't break defense, but what you got out of him was max effort. Let me ask y'all a question. Was y'all ever disappointed?
They never turned around. Them DBs.
They didn't turn around. Dan Quinn did.
You're right. But that was Chris Richard. Remember?
And Dan Quinn did put in a better order of ball skill DBs. I'm going to give him that. I'm not going to take that away from him. But, yeah, so we got plenty of flowers to give, but I got some ass to kick right now.
Effort. It's the effort. Yeah, we got to see better effort, dog. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's why I got to ask the question. Big.
It's the effort.
Was you ever disappointed in the effort of Rod's guys?
You didn't like his damn defense. You didn't like his damn defense because it pissed you off.
Right.
But you were never mad at the effort. They never gave up. They never just quit because Rob would not let them. Rob would never let them quit. And all I'm saying is this. I like Dan Quinn. I'm not saying, let's axe him and let's get somebody else. All I'm saying is he's got to preach effort all the time, because it looks like when Dallas started getting smacked in the mouth a little bit, that effort looks like it peels back a little bit, y'all. Come on, let's keep it real, man.
I'm keeping it 100.
When we started getting beat up a little bit, do y'all see that effort from our defense? Let's keep it real, OC and
No.
Let's keep talking to me for real. Do you really see that effort all the whole damn game? Okay.
Like Philly. I saw a Philly game. I saw the physicality on Philly.
I just think we got personnel, man. I think that even with this hybrid stuff, it can work. I just think we got personnel issues.
You stayed in Arizona?
No.
We got personnel issues, man.
You think
I think that's all it is, man. Yeah, man.
Come on,
one more year.
Nah,
Get Curse up out of there, man. No offense to Curse. You put a more athletic guy that can play that big nickel, and then you find you a Mike. Find you a Mike linebacker, and I think that this will solve most of that. Mozzie next year will be a better player than what he is right now.
What about this year, though, Law? We're talking right now. What we doing right now? What we doing right now, Law? That's what I want to know. What we doing right now? Should you tell me what you should do? OC and Law, I want to ask you. Should they go ahead and just put him at linebacker and play Rashaan Evans more and bench somebody? Should somebody get benched? Should somebody need to get benched?
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. This is what you need. You need competition practice days. That's what you need. You need the competitive practice days and let people fight for their positions. That's what you need. If Evans is making tackles on the inside run, he's running downhill, and he's not going to crap out of people in practice, then you put him in the game, okay? If boys are missing tackles in practice, then they lose some reps. If they miss tackles in the game and they're not being physical, guess what? Minus against you. This is a meritocracy, okay? This is a meritocracy. So you need to earn your way by merit and performance. Other thing they need to do is just line up and do a whole bunch of tackling drills. That'll solve this stuff. And do this. Go old school. Do bull in the ring. Make those boys.
No, they'll be crying because when we get, they'll be crying. When we get hurt, they'll be crying.
I don't care. I don't care.
I feel you.
That's the problem. You're too soft. You're a millionaire and you soft.
I think we out
professional football
of
player, you soft.
Tackling days though.
Soft.
I don't think we. The CBA kind of killed that.
Well,
can do it. Yeah.
Well, that's a whole nother problem. Well, then guess what? We ain't got tackling days. Here it is. Here's the switcheroo. Hey, you should be fresh. If you ain't got a tackling practice, you should be ultra fresh. So you better be balls to the walls in these games and running like your hair on fire and knocking people. You know what in the dirt. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody got a solution. Somebody got a solution. You move Bell where Curse said. You move Micah at linebacker and add Evans in. Mike Evans and Bell at where Curse at. You got a faster, more explosive team. Hey, it's understandable if you have light body and you can still rotate on pass rushing downs like third downs. Micah back to the edge. What's your thoughts on that?
They ain't benching Curse. That's my thoughts.
I'm thinking of 1,000 possibilities to make Curse.
Yeah, I know you think of 1,000 possibilities, but I need to see. That's another thing when we talking about Dan Quinn. I just said the favorites, right? I just said favorites probably about 15 minutes ago. I said favorites. So there you go about favorites, because we're being honest that J-Ron Curse is not the same J-Ron Curse we've seen a couple years ago or even half of last year. It's not the same player. But we're going to sit there and say that's his favorite because he ain't going to get benched because, Marquise Bell should slide in that safety spot, right? You're going to have more versatility. You'll have a faster guy, more agile guy, and you can still sprinkle in Wanye Thomas, but they're not going to do it, right? Are they going to do it? No, they're not going to do it. And are they going to move Micah to a Mike linebacker? When are we going to see that? We're talking about all these things that possibly could happen, but are they going to happen? I highly doubt it.
I put it like this. As a base package, as a base D, I say, in my opinion, not Harp, I'm so sorry. I would want to see Clark and Evans. Just because mostly they are built for the physicality of teams that's going to be committed to running the ball. Bell right now has more courage to me than everybody, but I don't want Bell in games to where they running down your throat. Eventually, they go knock the courage out that dude. I'm being honest. I got a lot of courage, but I'm not crazy enough to try to go take on the OC. I would die. I'm serious. I got a lot of courage, but if the OC met me in the trenches and got his mitts on me, he would separate my shoulder. And that's real talk. It don't matter how much courage you got. It don't matter how good you playing. When you keep playing in them trenches, it's going to wake you up. Look what it did to Clark. Look.
You see, that man took him 20 yards back and he said, I got to go out the game right quick, dog.
Man, you
on my
get hit.
head.
Man, you get hit like that.
One from me.
Hey. Say one of them offensive linemen would take your soul. I'm serious. People don't be looking at me.
I got something. I got something right quick, boss. I didn't mean to cut you off, but my boo thing, I got to give her a shout out. My boo thing said this. She said, well, babe, y'all have spoke on things like this before and put them in the air, and as happened, I'm just saying. There you go, boo thing. There you go. See,
hey,
she put it in
there
there for us. Hopefully y'all watching. We ain't mad at y'all. We love y'all Cowboys, but damn it, we talking about this, and maybe you can listen to it just a little bit. Curse, don't get mad at us. I'm sorry, J-Ron.
You need a base run D. You need a base run D because I think Mike Marx is right. What we put on film is going to get a lot of teams courage to do exactly what Buffalo did, right? And they go test the physicality of this team, and we got to respond. So what's your package when teams commit to running the ball? I'm listening.
5-3.
Yeah,
that's my package.
What's your
5-3.
package? Yeah. So
5-3 package. We going Clark. All right. We going Evans. All right. And because Bell has played so well, I'm putting Bell at a weak side linebacker.
Like it.
I'm gonna put him at weak side because he can chase.
He can trail.
Right? He's fast. He's physical.
Yep.
He can cover him flat. He can chase. Right.
I like it. OC.
I'm starting obviously Micah Parsons. All right. Give me Osa. Okay. Give me Hankins. Hopefully, if he's healthy. If not, we gotta rock with Mozzie. Okay. Give you a guy that you should give me Dorrance Armstrong because he's physical. He plays fundamental. Okay, and he can rush the passer on a lunch pail mentality.
Yeah.
And give me Tank. That's my 5-3.
That's your base run stopping defense.
That's my base run, obvious run down defense.
First down.
That's what I'm doing.
Would you rotate Ghost in there too? Ghosting in there for Mozzie?
I will give him some tick too. Between him and Armstrong, yes, I'm gonna give him some tick. Because he's shown in spots to be physical and make some
plays. Can play in that middle.
He got that concrete blocks for feet, though, man. I'm saying, like, come on, Ghostin.
Yeah, that's why you got to play in that middle.
I don't care if you're concrete feet. I just don't want you to get moved. Don't get moved.
Oh, don't get moved. Like you gonna keep him in the inside?
Yeah, no, yeah. He's not no edge guy. They tried to hype him like that when he came out of Iowa. He's always been inside guy.
3-tech. Yeah, 3-tech. Yeah, just don't get moved. Don't get blown off the ball. How about that? Let's just start there first. Let's do fundamentals. Gap integrity. Keep your gap. Hold up your gap.
Right.
Stop getting pushed 4 and 5 yards out of your gap. Okay. Just you know what they used to say in high school.
Boss over here disgusting.
If he's starting to push you back, look. If he's starting to push you back, guys, just fall down and create a pile. Even high school coaches know that. Fall down. Why? Because you don't want to create seams and gaps because you're getting blown off the ball in the lap of your linebacker and he's sitting there trying to catch it and he can't make a play and then they ripping off large runs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, I want to just say something real quick. Obviously, we spent a lot of time talking about stopping the run, but I think it was very fruitful because that's one of the number one things we dealing with and we still dealing with it. So if you trying to solve problems, you got to kind of take it on. And I think we did a good job of that, to be all the way honest.
Nothing about offense, man. We talk about this stuff.
I trust the offense.
For 50 hours, 50 minutes.
We did.
Yeah. But
you got some thoughts on offense?
No, I'm just going to say this point. Osa didn't have a good game as well last week. You know, he only had 3 tackles and they were isolating. So what they did was they was like, okay, well, we're not going to allow Osa to get upfield. We gonna redirect and move him, and they are moving him around. So for that point, even at an interior 3-tech, he is a little undersized as well. But he's been playing good this year, though.
I put it like this: Osa would be the best 1-tech Rob Marinelli ever had.
For sure he would. Because you know Bro would have put his undersized ass right over as a 0.
It would have made it work.
Oh my God.
Hey,
am I lying though?
Hell, you made Crawford.
Yeah, Antoine Woods.
Antoine Woods. There you go.
Nick Hayden, baby.
He had George.
The guy called him the Golden Cock. All his orphans. Vincent Mayowa had 6 sacks. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man. So I know everybody want to hear about this too.
Yeah.
I know everybody want to talk about this. Miami. Where do we start? Where do we start?
Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. That damn speed got me nervous. I ain't gonna lie. That speed got me nervous. That speed got me nervous, dog. I'm just seeing a crossing
like
pattern.
a Genuine song.
I'm seeing one crossing pattern with Tyreek or Waddle, and I'm like, oh gosh.
And y'all know Tyreek will play this game.
Yeah, he gonna be all healed.
He ain't missing no damn Dallas Cowboys.
He on a Dr. Sebi diet. He gonna be ready.
That's why he probably missed the game before, so he could make sure he played in this one.
Yeah. How we beat him, Law?
Oh my! We're gonna have to score early and often. We have to make them throw the ball, even though they got A-Chain.
Keep them off the field, Law.
Yeah. Keep them off the field too. But we're gonna have to score. We can't be doing that wee-woo stuff, right? And A-Chain ain't nothing to sneeze at. I'm gonna give you guys y'all flowers. Y'all was right about A-Chain during the draft situation, and I'm gonna give you your flowers too, Big Game James, on Keaton Mitchell though, the guy that went to the Ravens.
Oh yeah.
That boy was nice. I hope he's okay. I heard he got snapped up, but A-Chain is the dude that if we thought that James Cook was looking like Sam Cook a long time coming on us last week. Hey, both of these guys are better than James.
For real.
Cook, so A-Chain watching the tape. And also Raheem Mostert.
He got 20 touchdowns.
So, yeah. And he's an olden legend over here, and he's like a 4-3 guy. And I would say that team is very speedy. They're going to try to get to the outside. They love to run through the C gap and B gap. So, hey, this is another game that if we keep Parsons on the edge, that they're going to attack and they're going to try to utilize and abuse the brother. So that is the reality there. How we beat this team is we got a forced tour to throw the ball. We got a forced tour to make those unnecessary throws into coverages. Hey, Cedric Wilson, he's my dog. Y'all know how we go way back like 4 flats on a Cadillac, but we gonna have to make sure that he don't get off in this game too, because you know how it is. Revenge of a guy that used to play for us come in, now he's playing for the opposing team. I'm not worried as much about their defense, but their defense is nice. They can get around and they got their edge rushers to get to the defense. Yeah. So we gonna have our hands full.
Big. How do we beat them?
Oh, like I said, I feel like the way we beat them is we got to keep them off the field. We got to keep that offense off the field. We definitely have to score touchdowns, but we got to have those kind of methodical drives, y'all. You know, where I'm always like, we got to score early. Nah, I ain't going to try to say we need to score early these games. We need to have 10, 11 play drives where we're keeping that offense off the clock, run on them if we can. We saw Tony Pollard look really good in the run game last week against Buffalo. He looked real strong and explosive. So I think we need to continue to try to hit that run game. Not say we have to just run, but I feel like we need to have methodical drives on them and keep that offense out the field. I think that's the best way we're going to beat them, because I'm going to keep it real, y'all. On our defensive side, I'm a little nervous because I'm worried about that speed, them getting out on them quick outs, a screen pass, or one of them slants, them crossing patterns. That's my thing, and I feel we're really going to have to buckle down and play sound tackling football. What they said, we had 16 or something missed tackles last game, and they came into the league with one of the lowest percentage in missed tackles in the league. Dallas did. So we're gonna have to play sound football. Once again, Deone Clark and those guys are gonna have to have a game when if they get to that second level with that speed, they're gonna have to, if they're one-on-one matchups, they're gonna have to make those plays.
Let me say this too, Big Game James. I think their defense is Vic Fangio, right? He was the guy that said the blueprint. He was the guy that said the blueprint in 2021. Yeah. And then on top of that, Mike McDaniels. He was also that guy in that playoff game in 2021, but he was with the doggone 49ers. So they know us. It's going to be similar as far as we seen this style and brand of caliber of defense, and we seen his brand and caliber of offense. So we're gonna have to come ready with it. Go ahead.
Our coaches gonna have to come with it, Law. You feel me? Our coaches, boss. OC, our coach is going to have to come with it, right? We've been talking about Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. Now, we just talked about them the last game against Buffalo. They're going to have to really come with a really good game plan because you just said it. Mike McDaniels and Vic Fangio, they're not scared of us. They ain't scared of us, and they're gonna come. They're gonna throw the kitchen sink at us, dog. They're gonna try to embarrass us in Miami. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
So we need to come. We need to come with it because they're gonna try to embarrass us. They might try to do things they ain't did all year against us, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, guys, this is going to be a tough one. I'm not going to lie to you because it's not just the explosive plays on the outside. These guys can run the football. And looking back at that Jets game last week, they ran the ball extremely effectively versus that Jets front. And they used a variety of tactics to do so, by the way. These guys will do pin and pull, where you block down, you pulling tackles around. They'll block down, have a lead blocker outside. They do guard traps inside with a lead blocker. You know, they like to stay in that two-back, and they always tend to have a lead blocker on a linebacker or outside defender, meaning that our linebackers are going to have to get off blocks, anticipate, and blow up plays. And our safeties and corners out there, they're going to have to be physical, man. They're going to have to disengage, get off blocks, and make tackles because, yeah, Tua's going to hit you over the top. Look, Cheetah's going to make a couple big plays because, you know what, he's Cheetah. And that's just how it is. All right. But at the end of the day, what you really want to try to do with them defensively, you want to try to get them in 3rd and long because that plays to your advantage. You want to be strong on 1st and 2nd down. You want to try to get him in 3rd and long because if you can hit Tua, if you can rattle Tua, if you can affect him, he will throw you a couple interceptions. He will start to get happy feet and let that ball go before he wants to let it go. That's how you play these guys. In terms of the offense with us, man, we have to run the football. We're going to have to impose our will. This is a game where we have to win the line of scrimmage on the defensive line and on the offensive line. We have to be able to run the ball. We cannot be going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's a recipe for disaster. We got to get at least 8 to 12 play drives, and we got to clown on play action pass. We need to run the ball, and we need to let Dak do what he does on play action pass. I think a key to victory on this is not just CeeDee Lamb and Cooks. It's going to be Jake Ferguson, all right? He's going to be a key to victory.
Yeah.
We got to get him involved often and early to keep that defense honest and to keep them from being so aggressive with blitz packages.
I say, to me, the team that put out the best tape on how to handle Miami was Philly.
Yeah.
And it was what you said and what OC and what Big Game Jace. It was both of what y'all said together. Philly was committed to running the ball. To your point, OC, they stuck with that run game, and it was about the trenches. And it was what you said, Big. It was exactly what you said, long drives. So we got a lot of practice at that because, you know, in the beginning of the season, we was the number 1 team in 10-play drives. We need an offense like that to me. I would also say this. I want to get y'all opinion on this. If it's any game, Mike McCarthy need to be aggressive.
Yeah, you gotta set that up real quick.
You better have them nuts
go
in this game.
Go for it on 4th down with these boys.
Philly played that game with their linebacker out. The Miami Dolphins had their linebacker out. They had both of their offensive linemen out and 2 of their DBs out. And they took a touchdown off the board. And on top of that, they had some other things, the ball to bounce another way, especially like roughing the pass on one of the drive extenders. So although I think Philly ended up beating them 30-something to 17, I was telling people, hey, that score really wasn't like that, you know, but they was just telling me that I'm hating on Philly. You see how Philly got away with that win, though, but that's a whole nother conversation. Go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
No, that was it. Yeah, I think
that was it. Yeah.
I think it was a combination of what everybody said. I think we got to be very aggressive for points. This is not a field goal game.
Hell no.
No, you need to be aggressive for points. Like, I've been very nervous at Mike McCarthy with his aggression. Right. This one, I would be like, hey, he had to, regardless of what happens.
Because they're going to put pressure on us all game. They're going to put pressure on us all game. And they're not going to stop until that whistle, for real. I feel like they're going to be that aggressive, attacking us off defensively. Vic Fangio. I feel like he's gonna come after Dak as well. I mean, he's gonna drop. I mean, he's gonna disguise. He's gonna try to confuse Dak. Like, it's gonna be one of them games. I feel like our coaches really need to bring it, and then they need to bring that attitude and bring it to the players. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know, when they talk about the coaches, they got to be pumped up. They got to bring that energy. Y'all feel me? Can't just be the players. I need my coaches to bring that energy, because this is a big, big game. Because I feel like we need this game for our psyche too. You go into Miami and they kick your ass after you just got your ass kicked in Buffalo. That's gonna make you think. So I think we need this game for our psyche as well.
Yeah.
No,
What's the Dolphins' record though? What's the Dolphins' record? I forgot.
I can pull it up real quick. And while I'm pulling it up,
I would 10-4.
I would also say this. This is the perfect warm-up game for San Fran. Perfect.
Ain't lying.
Perfect.
Ain't lying.
OC come from that coaching tree of Shanahan. You know, like they basically San Fran all over again, but with better weapons.
Oh, yeah.
They defense just not like San Fran, but they offense is gonna be San Fran times 2. So if you can hold these dudes, yeah, this is a perfect game for San Fran. That's why we got on the thumbnail. This is a San Fran prep. You know, this game is gonna be like, man, you could take the film from this game and be like, we gonna learn from this for when we face San Fran.
Man, you got fighting words. All of the 49er fans on my side over here on this page, they talking about you. Oh, they hate you.
They hate that? I mean, they head coach.
Man, ain't no friend, San Fran. You know, they going in. You know, they love their 49ers.
All right. So we got some super chats. I'm pretty sure everybody got them
over here too.
I got some. So let's knock them out. I'll start it off real quick. Let me see. Okay. All right, so the first one I got, it came from my boy Chris. Appreciate the $5, Chris 214. He said, hopefully these boys don't get caught up in that we haven't lost 2 games straight in a long time. We have to establish our dominance heading into the playoffs. I don't think we gonna get caught up into that. Straight up. I really don't. And then we got us another super chat. He said, Carl Davis got a couple of tackles Sunday. I need to go look at that. I've been wondering about him. I need to go look at him. Evans played 6 snaps plus made 3 tackles from Tyrone Church. I think we got to ramp him up. And it never made no sense not to really use him when they was committed to running the ball like they was doing on you, and Clark was getting towed up. And then Tyrone Church said Rod would love to have Evans. I agree. And then another from Tyrone Church, he said Dars Armstrong still starting. What we talking? LV said this previously. Trade Micah for 2 firsts and a second.
Man, be quiet.
And build the team. He's not big enough for a long-term pass rush.
4 firsts. 4 firsts. Now think about it.
Yeah, I need 10 firsts.
10, yeah.
I need 10 first round picks.
Philly would probably do it right now. Philly.
Right, Mike. I don't even want to entertain in that. Mike is my guy. You know what I'm saying? Look, whatever correction we have or whatever we saying about Micah, it's just for him to be better. I ain't trying to fire Micah. Right. I ain't trying to get rid of Micah.
Hell no, we love Micah. Well, hell no, we need 10, that. That's a
first round
generational guy.
Let's go. 10?
Yeah, give me 10. I want 10 for him.
So, you know. My boy Common Sense said, the Scott McCleary doesn't teach aggressive? Yeah, man. Like, Scott... Hey, don't get me started on Scott McCleary, man. Like, I think that's a whole nother issue. James Tyson said, gotta earn the right to rush the passer. Right.
Facts.
And this is my last super chat, y'all. James said, to all, sup, peoples. Yeah.
Salute, man.
What's up?
What's up?
Let me get mine out right quick, because I know you got a whole gang of them, Law. You be having them down. So I got one $10 holla, all in the soil, $10 holla. That's for BGJ. That's a holding it down. Then I got a $5 holla from Adam Sindley, all wins besides the Chargers, we scored first. All losses, we trail. I believe if Dak hits Cooks on the deep ball on the opening drive, it'd been a different game. Yeah, that definitely would have been a different game if he hit that one.
To his point, though, we would only been tied. We wouldn't have,
Well, hey, it still would have been a big difference, though.
Yeah, I agree.
We got a touchdown. And then Kenneth Lott with the $4.99 holla. He says, I expect more from Dak. We need more from our quarterback. I expect more from this team. I expect Dak to be elite passer these next, 3 games, right? Oh, he said 6 games. My fault, Kenneth. He said we're going to Super Bowl. He said we're going to Super Bowl, so he said next 6 games. So I got you. I didn't catch that, but I caught it now. And then my last one is from my dog Joey Coco. He been going ham with the super chats. I got to make sure I give you that love, Joey Coco 99. You've been showing a lot of orange lately, and I've been appreciating you. $30 holla. Love the content, fellas. Hopefully we can run the ball and stop the run. I think the warmer weather would be a key factor. I totally agree with that. Look for Bell, Clark, and Thomas to step up and have good games. But the weather is the key in this game because we need it to be warm. I think we play better too. Shout out to you, Coco 99 for the $30 holla. Hey ho, to holla.
Hey ho. That's what it is, man. Let me see if I can put it up here. Y'all bear with me. Boom. Boom.
Somebody say, please, no more Kool-Aid Big. Man, y'all blaming my boy Big.
Blame Big for the Kool-Aid.
Hey, man, they think you cursing us, Big. They think you cursing us.
They think you cursing us, man.
They say every time you drink the Kool-Aid, we lose.
I feel you. You know what? I feel you. I'm quiet. Said this. Austin did that. I didn't
like the Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid James. All right.
I will listen to y'all.
Man, drink up, bro.
I got Tyrus Wheat, man. He said he deserves some snaps over Sam Williams. He can't reward or let mistakes scathe by like that. So he talking about Tyrus Wheat. What's your thoughts on that?
Going ham for Tyrus. Tyrese.
Yeah,
you be going ham, Sanjay.
That's his agent.
Going ham for him.
That's his agent. That's his agent.
For the $199 for your mind, she says the run defense. Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, the run defense. You covering her eyes. Jenkins for the $4.99. Holla, appreciate you. He says Eagles ain't won since we were eating turkey and mac and cheese. It's almost 2024. Well, come on, Eagles, keep on that same pace. You know. And then Sanjay, double back with it with the $9.99 for your mind. He said you can have physicality and finesse by investing in a top tier defensive tackle, using more linebackers. For example, Jeffrey Simmons, who we can probably make a move for. Y'all can let me know about that. And Chris Jones can stop the run and line up all over the defensive line for pass rush. What's your thoughts on that?
We had somebody like that in David Irvin. He wanted to quit.
Ooh, man, I wish the rules were like it is now. I see you got 2 on the screen. It would be nice, huh? Just bring him in for a cup of coffee.
Mad at it. Man. Bring him in for a cup of coffee, Law.
It makes sense,
cup
man.
Of coffee, bring him in. See what he can do. Can he jump?
It makes sense. It really does.
Bring him in.
How you
going? And he's nasty.
Yes.
He's nasty.
Yes. It makes sense, man. Like, because we see what we are without Hankins. How much more we added another Hankins? Let's stop being goofy. We got young linebackers. Act like it. Our linebackers need help. Act like it. It's ways to help them, man. I'm not cool with all this. We got to solve this from within. Maybe. Or sometimes you got to look without.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. We got Mike DC for life, not for short, but the $199. He said, salute, Law. Appreciate you. You got Knowledge 1914 for the $4.99 for your mind. He says, if Micah is not willing to play for the team, then and what do we take him to when we win the championship? Then it's time to cut bait and get some things for him. So what they're saying is basically cut him.
No.
No. Hell no.
No.
Can I get that hell no? Play that thing.
Of course
no.
you can.
Cut him and trade him. Trade him. I meant to say trade him.
Hell no.
I ain't saying all of that. All I'm saying is I want him to embrace
Play that one more time,
the
boss.
queen.
Oh, hell no.
No. We keeping Micah Parsons. Yes.
Yeah, we ain't get rid
He's
of no
that
damn Mike.
good. I just want him to embrace
boy
the
good.
queen better.
Yeah.
Now he's a bishop. He's a rook.
Yeah.
He's not a queen.
Yeah. So, man, all I can say is, man, if it ain't the 10 first round draft picks we getting, let's leave Parsons away.
Yeah, we're keeping Parsons.
You
We're
feel
keeping
me?
him. Okay?
Remember, it's 10 first rounder.
We're
10
keeping Micah Parsons. It's like no question on that. Like wanting to see some more out of him is totally different than wanting him off this team. I would never want to go against Micah Parsons ever.
No. Hell no.
To get
Put
rid
us
of Micah
on the edge this offseason, Parson. Put us on the edge. We talk some real stuff on the edge. Put us on your podcast Parson. Put us on there, man. Come on, man.
Even if he's selfish, I want his selfish self on my team. I'm serious.
Right.
Selfish or not.
Can you imagine Parsons playing for the Washington team, the Giants, or the Eagles?
Man, no. Witten was selfish. Yes, he was. Yes. Micah Irvin was selfish. Never forget. We could have had Tim Brown on this team. Yep. Who put a stop to that? Micah Irvin. So, see, some of these dudes, you know who else could have been selfish, but wasn't?
Jimmy Smith.
Yep.
Smith, they ran Jimmy
Tyler
Smith
could have been selfish. Sometimes these guys are in pickles.
You talking about future. Because I'm thinking way back in the 90s, Jimmy Smith, shout out to him, shout out to JSU. He was here, man, and they shipped him off to Jacksonville. But, man, sometimes you got to have that little selfish ego, you know.
Yeah, sometimes.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You got another $4.99 from Rogue Shop. He says, Law, are you looking for any sponsors? You know, yeah, man, we always looking, man. So, hey, hit me up at lawsnation@gmail.com and we'll talk about it. You know? Slide the DMs and everything, man.
And don't tease with that either, man. Don't be teasing. Like if you're a business owner and you trying to advertise, don't play like that. Be serious.
Yeah.
Don't
come in here trying to get some click. Don't be doing clicks and giggles.
Be playing with us like that.
Hey, it is what it is. But we accept the $4.99 for your mind, though. You know, Chris 214, not 4, but 4. For the $5 super chat, he says, I think we should prioritize bull rushing the middle on pass downs versus Tua. That's a good idea. Tua is a pocket guy, and he sometimes flush out.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can get pressure
Christian
on his
Wilkins,
feet.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. And Bradley. God, dog it.
Dirty
Christian
Sanchez for the $4.99 says, Jalen Hurts is a game changer. They were supposed to win that game last night, and he changed the game. Oh, so like a double entendre, right? He did.
Cold. That's cold, bro. That's cold.
That's an entendre, right?
That's
He
cold,
did.
Bro. That's cold, bro. That's cold-blooded, bro.
You talk
about a playmaker. That's a playmaker. He made the play.
Yeah, Mike. Come on, Mike. Hey, I got Coach Marv who says Christian Watkins is a problem. Number 94. Look out for him.
Oh, yeah. Out of Clemson.
He's a big
we
problem.
Got 2 more super chats.
He's
always been a dog, man. Always. 8 sacks?
God. That's the kid from Clemson, right?
Yeah.
Clemson.
Yeah, didn't he just get paid, or he about to get paid?
Woo,
Yeah.
Baby.
And they got Bradley over there too at the edge.
Yeah. 24/7 Cowboy for the $1.99. He says, how can we use Turpin in the next few games? I would tell you this, on that 9 route in the Bills game, if that was Turpin, I think Turpin get up under that ball. I think that the Cowboys need to utilize and use Turpin on end arounds. They need to put him in the backfield. However the Miami Dolphins use Tyreek Hill, you can use Turpin in the same fashion. I think that he can be that guy whenever we have stale moments, get the offense going with end arounds and things like that. Let me know how y'all feel about Turpin, Cavante, and them.
No, don't get me started on that. I'll be talking too long.
Okay. What about you, Big K? Anything? All right.
I'm with boss.
Last but not least, man, Can Art with the $10 super chat, man. He says, our best trade in history was when we traded away Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings, oh man, to accumulate the 3 Super Bowls that we received. Look, that's why teams don't want to trade with us, though. That's why teams don't want to trade with us. You know what I'm saying? That's why teams don't want to trade with us, because they don't want to be Minnesota Vikings. But I don't think that we would trade Parsons right now at this point of his career. He's unbelievable what he can do.
Yeah. So, final words.
Appreciate y'all for the support in the super chats.
We had some constructive feedback. That's what we do. We trying to win a championship. So sometimes people hate to hear their favorite players kind of get a little bit pushback. People hate to hear sometimes accountability for their favorite coaches, but we did that today. We did that because we're trying to be loyal to the Dallas Cowboys. So I will say this in my final words. I understand the dilemma that Micah Parsons is in. The money position is defensive end. Where you get all the accolades and awards is defensive end. It's asking a lot to ask him to be great at both. But sometimes when you're great, you're asked to do what other people can't do. It's a big ask. But I really want him, maybe not this year because it's a little bit late, to be asking him to be the middle linebacker green dot guy. But as he evolves, I will want to see him fully embrace being a queen. I think we lost it this year. I think at best he could be a part-time linebacker on rundowns. At best, but I will want him to do it. And then with Quinn, yes, we should be turning up the heat on him. It's not that we don't like him or love him. It's just that sometimes you got to be honest and say, I'm seeing some things under your guys that I didn't even see under the previous guys. I have to look at you when I'm not seeing the effort that I saw with a coach had less talent. I'm not going to call myself loyal to the Cowboys and ignore bad effort. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not built that way. I'm too loyal to ever think like that or do that. So there are some things I want you better at, Dan Quinn. It's too much undisciplinedness on this defense. It's too much up and down. I love how you scheme. I love how you got us some DBs that know how to get the ball. Yes, Law is right. This group under you gets the ball. But this group under you don't play football like they did under Rod.
I'm going to tell you this. I love Micah Parsons. One of my favorite players. I love him as a dude. Somebody got to coach him how to defend the run when he's on the edge. And I know nobody want to say it because we talk about how great he rushes the pass. Nobody can divide it. But if I'm going to talk about other players that have parts of their game where I see as a weakness, if he's going to play the edge in Dallas, he has to learn how to set the edge. He got to learn how to stop putting his shoulders in the offensive lineman and use his hands and be effective in that regard. And when they don't block him, he has to be able to understand how to affect plays in that regard. So a lot of this about Dallas, to your point, RC, is mentality and how we play. About Dallas, to your point, RC, is mentality and how we play. About Dallas, to your point, RC, is mentality and how we play. About Dallas, to your point, RC, is mentality and how we play. The most devastating thing was that for me. Physicality, and more importantly, they didn't even look like they knew how to fit the run. Yeah, more than anything, and that's something we'll get into the.
That's my final word.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much summed it up right there. I think our coaches have to really coach their ass off this game.
Yeah.
We talked about it. I think Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn really got to bring that energy. Y'all going to have to coach a sound football game. Dan Quinn, you're going to tell your team, no offsides.
Right.
No hero ball.
Right.
Stay disciplined. We can't have personal fouls. That seems to be the mantra when we're getting beat. So that just the penalties as a whole. As I said, that's the biggest thing to me. And my final word We're leading the league in penalties. We led the league in penalties 2 years ago. We're top 10 in penalties the last 4 years. And those kind of mistakes have hurt us in games. Let's not act like they haven't. We've got big first downs taken back. We've had touchdowns taken off the board. Those things affect you. So my coaches, I like y'all. I like Mike and I like Dan, but they have to be better, and they have to be better in this game, because this has to be a bounce back game. For real, this has to be a bounce back game, because I feel like we need this game for our psyche. I don't think we should. It's 2 games in a row losing is not going to be good for us, and I think this needs to be that bounce back game for our mentals. We go into Miami and we beat them, and just like Boss said, this is like a San Francisco type team that gets our mind back. Like, okay, we're back. Right. We're not this team that loses on the road, because right now they're painting the picture that you can't win on the road. That's why I feel like we really need this game right now to shut a lot of the critics up and get our minds right. That's my final word.
Hold on. We got 291 people watching, on the 188 likes.
Shame, man. Come on, man. What y'all doing?
You know how
man?
it is. It's a lot of creepers.
I'm going to hit them with the shame. Hit them with the rigs. Come on.
Oh, see, said creepers. He ain't lying.
Creepers, man. We got
shame. Shame in with the rigs. Come on, y'all. Hit
That's cold-blooded, bro.
Share this content.
Goof, man. Hit the like, bro. Some of y'all just forgot. Some of them
but
just
it's a lot
forgot.
of creepers out there. You know, like if you're creeping on the social media, just request friend. You know what I mean? Don't just be creeping on the social media. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, hey, here's the deal, man. Listen, the Cowboys need to come out here and just prove that this was a fluke. They need to prove that this was an off game versus these Dolphins, and they have a chance to right-size this thing and get hot again going into the playoffs. The 2 most important games is this one and the Detroit game, in my opinion, as we close out the regular season. And if the Cowboys come out determined, physical, and play inspired football, we'll be in good shape. But if they come out flat, the Dolphins is going to be all over us like white on rice. So I'm telling you, the Cowboys got to bring it. If they do that, they're going to right-size this thing very, very quickly. And we go forget about the loss to the Buffalo Bills, and we go focus ahead to these playoffs. That's my final word.
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
That's good stuff, man. Straight business, man. And just to echo what my guy, Big Game James said, you know, we're number 1 team in undisciplined play, right? So we're not a disciplinary team. And if you think about it, we are +2 wins if we just be disciplined. That means that we would probably float into the playoffs and we're the number 1 seed. Keep this in mind. There was 14 penalties called on us in that Cardinals game. You take away those 14 penalties, maybe you win. Hey, there was an illegal shift, illegal motion, whatever it was. They took a touchdown off in that Phillies game the first time we played them. If we don't do that, maybe we win. So, yeah, if you are undisciplined and you're not playing up to that level, then those things happen. I'm quite sure that there was this great coach that's got a Hall of Fame on his name, named Jimmy Johnson, used this quote that said, fatigue makes cowards of us all. And when you are a coward, that means you're reaching. That means you're lunging. That means you're not playing technique. So maybe that is the situation when you are undersized and you're getting ran through. Like, hey, we were talking about the players having all type of issues in that game as far as their bubble guts. Maybe they had dog diarrhea, right? Maybe that was the situation and scenario. But the Dallas Cowboys can't utilize and use that as an excuse. We got to go on the road to play the Miami Dolphins. They are the number 1 team in rushing. So we're going to have to bust them in the mouth, and we got to correct our wrongs. Just like what my guy, Boss Cowboys Sports, said, by the way, about being prepared for those 49ers. Yes, this is a team that's a disciple or an off child. Mike McDaniel is of Kyle Shanahan. So if we want to be able to showcase what we can do against those 49ers, we got to take care of business this particular weekend. Cowboy Nation, look, leave all what we said as far as those excuses at the door. Leave them right there at the door and showcase what we can do. Dak Prescott, I'm glad to a degree that there's no more MVP talk. Now it's all about, hey, what we can do in the postseason. We clinch, we are there. Nobody's talking about giving us praises. They are beating us up out here. And all we got to do is just take over and do what we need to do. And that is win these last 3 games. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's get it.
Here we go. Final words. Go get soup. Quit playing.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.